Breaking. Kafwaya exposes inhumane treatment of Given Lubinda. Police rescue shocks nation. Tonight, a political firestorm has erupted in Zambia. Bowman Lusambo, Ronald Kafwaya, and the entire PF leadership are demanding answers after shocking reports emerged about the alleged inhumane treatment of Given Lubinda. But moments later, the Zambia Police Service stepped forward with a completely different story, saying Lubinda is safe, stable, and has actually been rescued. So what really happened? How did a senior opposition figure become the center of a national controversy in just a few hours? And why are PF leaders accusing the state of brutality, while authorities insist they acted to protect Lubinda? Stay with me, because the twists ahead will change how you see this entire political drama. Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of InspirAfrica Official. I'm Nakash. What a week it has been, my friends. You know, we often say that politics in Africa is never boring. But this past Tuesday afternoon in Kabwe, this was something else entirely. Picture this, a political leader surrounded by shadows and rage. Hands grabbing, voices shouting, a camera phone capturing every terrible second. And then, silence. An unknown location. Hours of uncertainty. A nation holding its breath, wondering, where is he? What are they doing to him? Will anyone come? But here's what makes this story electrifying. What really happened in Kabwe on that fateful afternoon? Why was Patriotic Front acting President Given Lubinda dragged through the streets like a common criminal? Who were the young men in that video? Political cadres, as claimed, or something more sinister? And most disturbing of all, why has one voice risen above the political noise with the sharpest condemnation, calling this treatment not just wrong, but inhumane? Ladies and gentlemen, when Lunt Member of Parliament Muto Kafwaya, himself a presidential aspirant in the same party, speaks of degrading treatment, of suspected criminals operating in broad daylight, what does he know that we don't? And here's the question that should keep every Zambian awake tonight. If the police can rescue a man from abduction, why can't they arrest his abductors standing right before their eyes? What does it mean when power rescues the victim but releases the perpetrator? And in a country preparing for elections, what precedent does this violence set for all of us? This is a story about power, about protection, and about the price of political ambition in modern Zambia. The revelation came to light on Tuesday afternoon, November 19, 2025, in the mining city of Kabwe. According to multiple sources and video footage that spread rapidly across social media platforms, Given Lubinda, the acting president of the Patriotic Front since the passing of former President Edgar Lungu in June 2025, was violently confronted outside a building in Kabwe. The footage, which has since been viewed thousands of times, shows Lubinda being manhandled by a group of young men. Critically, only one individual in the footage was wearing clothing branded with the ruling United Party for National Development logo, sparking immediate debate about the true identity and affiliation of the attackers. PF presidential aspirant Brian Mundable was among the first to speak publicly, stating that Lubinda had been attacked and abducted by suspected UPND cadres. The incident occurred as internal tensions within the Patriotic Front continued to escalate ahead of the party's national convention, the first since the death of Edgar Lungu. Multiple presidential aspirants, including Lubinda himself, have filed nominations and paid the required K200,000 fee, with the convention expected to determine the party's future leadership. By Tuesday evening, the Zambia Police Service had successfully located and rescued Given Lubinda. Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Muyimbu confirmed at a press briefing that Lubinda was safe and in good health following the police intervention. Minister Muyimbu stated that police had launched investigations into the circulating video, describing the depicted actions, if verified as authentic, as serious crimes including abduction, assault, and coercion, all carrying heavy prison sentences under Zambian law. But it was on the morning of November 19, 2025, that the most pointed condemnation came, not from party officials, not from opposition leaders, but from Muto Kafwaya, the Member of Parliament for Lunt constituency and himself one of the candidates vying for PF presidency against Given Lubinda. Kafwaya's statement, released via social media and picked up by multiple news outlets, pulled no punches. Let me read it to you in full. I am sad for Given Lubinda, Kafwaya began. The PF acting president has been subjected to inhumane and degrading treatment today. Those who abducted him took him to unknown place, locked him up, tortured him, and proceeded to do whatever they did have broken the law in broad daylight. He continued, "These individuals are suspected criminals and must be treated as such. As I firmly condemn the actions of these suspected perpetrators, I equally call upon the Zambia police to act decisively and arrest all those involved, including their sponsors." Now, here's where Kafwaya's statement becomes particularly sharp. He writes, "From the quick police response in Chingola following the stoning incident, we know that the police have the capacity to swing into action. Now that social media is awash with clear video footage of the abduction of Given Lubinda just as it was with the stoning incident, the same investigative tactics deployed in Chingola should be applied here." Kafwaya concluded with a hopeful but pointed observation. "We remain hopeful that, one day soon, Zambia will be a country free from political violence." From the government side, Home Affairs Minister Jack Muyimbu addressed the press, stating, "The police rescued Honorable Given Lubinda, otherwise the situation could have become worse. If the video is verified as authentic, it depicts serious crimes including abduction, assault, and coercion, all of which carry heavy prison sentences under Zambian law." But here's where the minister's words sparked controversy. Critics immediately seized on his framing, emphasizing the rescue rather than the offense. One observer noted caustically, "The man is emphasizing the rescue and not the offense. It's the offense which led to the rescue, and not the rescue which led to the offense. The perpetrators of the offense should have been arrested there and then." Citizens First leader Harry Kalaba also weighed in, condemning the assault with stark language. "If you allow this thuggery and political abductions to continue, soon there will be no Zambia left for any of us to live in." Multiple social media commentators questioned the authenticity of the incident, with some suggesting it might have been staged for political advantage. "How come Lubinda is the only politician that these ruffians always manhandle?" one commenter asked, referencing a previous similar incident in Kabwata years prior. Others defended Lubinda, with one supporter writing, "Given Lubinda is a citizen and therefore free to meet his supporters. Those behind his attack must be rounded up and prosecuted." So what does this incident truly reveal about the state of Zambian politics in late 2025? First, we must understand the context. The Patriotic Front is in the midst of an unprecedented internal power struggle. Since the death of Edgar Lungu in June, the party has seen at least 11 candidates file nominations for the presidency, including Given Lubinda, Muto Kafwaya, Brian Mundable, Emmanuel Mwamba, Jeffrey Bwalya Mwamba, former Health Minister Chitala Kalufia, and former Defense Minister Chishimba Kambwili. Each candidate paid K200,000 to enter the race. The stakes. Control of Zambia's largest opposition party heading into the 2026 general elections. Some observers have speculated that the attack on Lubinda may not have been orchestrated by ruling party cadres at all, but rather by rival factions within the PF itself, individuals angry about alleged last-minute appointments or manipulation of the convention process. This narrative gained traction when analysts noted that only one attacker wore UPND-branded clothing, while others appear to have different allegiances entirely. But Kafwaya's condemnation is particularly significant for several reasons. First, as a direct competitor to Lubinda for the PF presidency, Kafwaya had every political incentive to remain silent or even capitalize on his rival's misfortune. Instead, he chose solidarity, using the strongest possible language, inhumane and degrading treatment, to describe what happened. This suggests that regardless of internal party rivalries, certain red lines exist that transcend political competition. Second, Kafwaya's comparison to the Chingola incident is deliberate and pointed. He's essentially challenging the police to demonstrate equal enforcement of law. The question he poses is uncomfortable. Does political affiliation determine how swiftly and thoroughly the law is applied? Third, there's the troubling matter raised by critics of the police response. If officers arrived in time to rescue Lubinda, they were therefore witnesses to the crime in progress. Why then, critics ask, were the perpetrators not immediately arrested? Why must investigations rely on video evidence when police officers saw the offense with their own eyes? This raises profound questions about police neutrality and the equal application of justice. From a legal standpoint, the crimes described, abduction, assault, unlawful detention, and coercion, are indeed serious offenses under Zambian law, carrying substantial prison sentences. Minister Muyimbu acknowledged this explicitly. But acknowledgement is not the same as accountability. The public is watching closely to see whether arrests follow the investigation. There's also the broader question of political violence in Zambia. The country has a troubled history of cadre-driven intimidation and violence, often escalating during election cycles. President Hichilema himself was once a victim of such violence during his opposition years. The question now is whether his government will demonstrate zero tolerance for political violence regardless of which party's members are targeted. Finally, we must consider what this incident means for the PF convention. Will the violence galvanize party members around Lubinda as a sympathetic figure? Or will it raise questions about his security arrangements and political judgment? Will Kafwaya's principled stance win him respect and support, or will cynics dismiss it as political calculation? Viewers, thank you so much for staying with us through this complex and troubling story. The attack on Given Lubinda in Kabwe, Muto Kafwaya's remarkable condemnation calling it inhumane treatment, and the police rescue that somehow didn't result in immediate arrests, these aren't just political headlines. They're warning signs. They're test cases. They're questions posed to every Zambian. What kind of political culture do we want? What standard of justice do we demand? And are we willing to condemn violence even when it targets our political opponents? I want to know what you think about this story. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe the police response was adequate? What do you make of Kafwaya's statement? Principled leadership or political opportunism? And most importantly, what does this incident tell us about Zambia's readiness for the 2026 elections? Remember to like this video if you found it informative, subscribe to InspirAfrica Official for more in-depth coverage of African politics, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our breaking news analysis. I'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter to you, to me, to all of Africa. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay hopeful. This is Nakash, signing off.